Hey all you super players out there, Ben Lodice aka 5 Buck Lunch, coming at you with a look at some of the new cards, more specifically the red-blue cards and the Invoker mechanic. I'll have a deck together probably within the next couple weeks. I just want to make sure that we have 100% of the cards before I start putting deck lists together for you guys so I can get you the most optimal build. But I wanted to talk about this stuff because it's a really new mechanic and it's kind of a new way to play the game. And it's very interesting and looks like it's going to be pretty powerful. So I wanted to start off with looking at this Vegeta. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta inspired technique. One thing you have to realize about Invoker is that in order for it to be active, you have to have an Invoker on the field. Otherwise, your deck becomes very, very useless because you have a bunch of cards you can't combo with and you you don't have enough energy for all of the extra cards that you want to play. So we have a Barrier Deflect Invoker, which is something that we very much need. If you notice, it doesn't have any other effects. It just has Barrier, Defect, and Invoker, and you can play it for 3. So a lot of times what the deck's probably going to do is try and hold off with some defensive stuff until turn 3 to get this down, and then hopefully untap during your opponent's turn and you have your extra cards on active. But one weakness the deck is going to have is those first couple turns because there's not an Invoker currently, and there probably won't be one that is before turn 3. Um, the Invoker effect, which is what all the red-blue cards are about in this set, is when paying an energy cost for a red-blue multicolor extra card, you can switch one red-blue multicolor energy to rest mode instead. So basically, as long as you have an Invoker on the field, you can play any red-blue extra card. Now, it has to be red-blue, it can't be red or blue. And you can play it for 1 as long as the energy you are paying is a red-blue multicolor card. So with that, I want to go ahead and look at the 2 leaders that are coming with this mechanic. One we saw a while ago, it's the Burst Leader, or Surge Leader, I'm sorry. Son Goku has active battle on the front side. When this card is in battle, choose one extra card in your hand, place in your drop area, choose up to 1 card in your life, add to your hand, draw 1 card. Then this card gets plus 5k power and the skill is negated for the duration of the battle. So it basically allows you to discard an extra card to plus 5k and draw a card once per battle, which is kind of useful, but at the same time, since it doesn't have any other draw mechanics, it just has this like filter draw mechanic on the front, you're probably going to be low on cards a lot with this leader. The Awaken Surge is choose one each red and blue from your hand, place them under the card, draw 3 cards, then choose one of your energy and switch to active mode and flip this card over. So in order to compensate for the fact that you can't draw very much with your ability, like you don't get to actually plus, you get to draw 3 cards with his Awaken Surge. After he awakens, Uh, active main or battle once per turn. If your life is at 5 or less and you choose 1 card on this card and place its owner's drop area, choose 1. If you have a Universe 7 card in play, which most of the Invoker's support cards are Universe 7, and draw 1 card, then your opponent reveals their hand, choose 1 extra card or battle card with 35k power or less placed in their drop area. So you have the ability to draw a card, look at your opponent's hand, and essentially take any card from it, which is obviously very good. Or you can choose 3 multicolor extra cards with different names in your drop area and or warp and add them to your hand. I like the fact that it includes warp because you can still play Overrun with this deck and have it work. And it seems like even though, like, obviously these are all really powerful effects, right? Taking any card out of your opponent's hand. But keep in mind, you can only do each of these twice total. So you can take 2 cards out of their hand or grab extra cards, and the leader isn't really drawing very much. So we're going to need to draw off of our extra cards, or we're going to need to use this grab 3 multicolor extra cards effect in order to see the cards we need. The other leader is Android 17, and this is a much more traditional leader. It has a traditional awaken. Auto when this leader attacks a leader card, draw 1 card. Active main once per turn. Choose 1 Universe 7 card in your hand, place in your drop area, draw 1 card. So we get to attack draw and cycle draw, which is very powerful. It's kind of the opposite of the Goku, to be honest. Instead of having like these big powerful effects on command, you just get to draw a lot of cards and filter through your deck for what you need. One nice thing about the filter is that you're going to get to see the cards that you need, which is often very important for control decks, even more so than aggro decks. When your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 1 card, then choose one of your energies, switch to active one, and flip this card over. Another important thing to note about this is that there's no self-awakening built in, which is something you don't see a whole lot anymore. On the Awakened side, when this card attacks, draw one card. Active main once per turn, one red, one blue. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, return it to its owner's hand, then choose up to one Universe 7 card in your drop area and add it to your hand. So this leader has a cool mechanic where on the front side you discard your Universe 7s to draw cards, and on the back side you can get them back. It also have the ability, active main once per turn if there are 9 or more multicolor extra cards and or Universe 7 cards in your drop area. This card gets plus 5k power, double strike, and critical for the duration of the turn. I think this leader is really good. A lot of people are kind of sleeping on it right now. They're really looking at the Surge leader for a leader that's going to be really good. But I actually like this leader better for this mechanic, and the reason for that is you can leave all your energy up, and you can use your extra cards to control your opponent while you use your leader, which is a 20k double strike critical, to kind of control and actually do damage to your opponent. So you can sit back, use extra cards to protect yourself while your leader actually does the heavy lifting. So we're going to go down then and look at some of the support cards for this mechanic. Some of these Frieza cards are to do with the Frieza deck, which I will talk about another time. More Frieza cards, and here we go. Ultra Instinct Son Goku Battle Mastery. So this is a 2-drop blue card. If you notice, a lot of these cards are going to have specific blue symbols, and the reason for that is there's a card that I'll talk about later that takes away energy exhaust from your red-blue extra cards. So you're going to be playing a lot of red-blue extra cards specifically, because you also have to tap those for Invoker. You can't tap a monocolor. When you play this card from your hand, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose one multicolor extra card among them, add it to your hand, then place the remaining at the bottom of your deck in any order. When this card is KO'd or removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, choose one multicolor extra card in your drop area, add it to your hand. So search and cycle for multicolor extra cards. He costs 2, which is more than usual for this kind of effect, but he also has 15k power, so you can actually attack with him. Let's see. So this is a little bit more of a traditional support card. It's a 1-drop 5k. When you play this card, look at the top 7 cards on the top of your deck. Choose up to one We Are Universe 7, Tournament of Power Arena, or red-blue multicolor extra card among them, add to your hand. This card is going to be very critical because Tournament of Power Arena is very necessary for the deck to run smoothly. And later in the game, you can just grab your red-blue multicolor extras. Also keep in mind they're all Universe 7s for your effect. Piccolo, another Universe 7 blocker. If you have 4 more extra cards in your drop area, reduce energy cost by 2, so he's only 1. Then when he's KO'd, you can grab a red-blue multicolor from your drop area, hit your hand. There's a lot of grabbing back multicolors from your drop area and add them to your hand. So it allows you to not have to play like 4 of them in order to get multiple uses out of them. Android 18, she's a 2-drop. Auto, choose one extra card in your hand, place in the drop area. When you combo with this card gets plus 6,000 combo power for the duration of the turn. This is very, very important because it allows you to turn your extra cards into combo pieces, which is something that is going to be absolutely critical for this deck. Majin Buu, Innocent Trickster. 2-drop 15k. If the leader is blue, you can place cards in his drop area. When one of your opponent attacks, negate the attack. Please note that is a on the field effect, not a in your hand effect. And then if you have red energy when it's removed from your battle area by opponent's skill, draw 2 cards. Whi's Tournament Spectator. This card is another way to get to Tournament Power Arena, which, like I said, is key to have on one of the first 2 turns of the deck. When you put it in play, you can choose up to 1 Tournament Power Arena, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. That is not for this deck. One thing to note with these Frieza extra cards that are solid blue is that you can't invoke them. Invoker only works on red-blue extra cards. Barrier of Hope is really interesting. It's technically not an Invoker card, but you might see it played in the deck because you can activate the active battle without paying the energy cost, and the active battle is choose one leader card or battle card that gets plus 5k power. So it essentially has a 5k combo power on this card and it's an extra card. If your leader is blue, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring Barrier, return it to its owner's hand, then draw 2 cards. So this card may see play in specifically the Surge Leader version because it draws cards for you, which the deck needs. Tournament Power Arena. So this card is very, very important for the deck. It's a 1-drop field. If your leader card is in Universe 7, negate the energy exhaust of all your red-blue multicolor cards in all areas. Active main if your leader is Universe 7. A Universe 7 card and you switch this card to rest mode. Look at the top 3 cards from the top of your deck, place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So this deck has two very, very critical effects for this deck. One, it allows you to play your energy exhaust red-blue multicolors without having them come and play tapped, which is very important because you need lots and lots of red-blue multicolor to get Invoker to work properly. And then the active main is you can tap it, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and place them at the top or bottom in any order, which I don't know if you guys play Magic at all, but this is a card called Sensei's Dividing Top, and it's one of the best cards in the entire game. So it's banned in a lot of formats, and so yeah, this is going to be really, really good. It basically allows you to pick whatever card you want off the top 3 and draw it instead of having to actually go through your deck. Let's see, so this is more, here we go. So Mecha Freeze Energy Blight is simply the red-blue negate no energy exhaust card, and you are probably still going to play this even though your World Power Arena negates energy exhaust, because if you don't have multi arena on the first turn, then you're going to want to play a red-blue and then turn 2 play this with your arena. All right. One thing that is kind of weird I've noticed about these red blue is it has a lot of the super rares between Frieza and Goku. So these decks might be a little expensive, which is kind of unfortunate because Invoker is a really cool new way to play the game. So here is the like win condition for the Invoker deck. Ultra Instinct Son Goku Energy Explosion. It has Invoker, and then auto choose 3 of your energy, place them in their owner's drop area. When you play this card from your hand, choose up to 3 cards in your energy cards, negate their energy exhaust, and place them in your energy. So what that's going to be used for is you can basically get rid of all your monocolor energy and swap them for red-blue multicolor energy to help with your Invoker effects. And then auto once per turn, when one of your cards deals damage to your opponent, deal 1 additional damage to your opponent. And as you'll see later, we have ways of doing direct damage to our opponent in this deck, and this basically makes our direct damage go up. He does cost 6 though, and there is no way to cheat him into play. So it's pretty hard to get him out, but he is like the win condition for the deck. We already talked about Vegeta. It's a key card because it's a protected Invoker. And here's our not protected Invoker with like a better effect. Golden Frieza Sovereign Technique. Has Invoker, like I said, 3-drop, 20k power. Auto, if your card is a Universe 7 card, when you play this card, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose 1 red-blue multicolor among them, add it to your hand, then place the remaining on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So this is not only a Searcher card, but also an Invoker, and we're going to want to play some of these because we won't always have the Vegeta on turn 3. Also, this is, if we don't have the extra card that we need to go with our Invoker, we can play this instead, and then we'll get the extra card we need. Beerus Divine Obliterator. This card is also really important to the deck. It's a special super combo that only red-blue has right now. If your leader card is red or blue and it's your opponent's turn, when you combo with this card from your hand, choose up to 1 of your red-blue multicolor energy and switch to active mode. This is really critical because comboed with Invoker, we can be tapped out and still disrupt our opponent in the battle step, which is very, very important. Tyranny's Cost. So here's our first red-blue extra card. Active main, draw 2 cards. If your opponent has 11 or more cards in their hand, they choose cards in their hand and shuffle them into their deck until they have 10 cards in their hand. So obviously we're not going to use that effect that much, but this is going to be very critical, especially for the Surge leader, because it draws 2 cards, and it draws 2 cards for 1 energy if we have Invoker out. Emperor's Death Beam, so it's a 3-cost red-blue. Active main, slash battle, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, gets negative 3k for the duration of the turn. Active main, send this card to from your drop area to your warp, look at the top card of your deck. If it's a multicolor extra card, you may add the card to your hand, otherwise place it on top of your deck. This is kind of the like hard-working card for the deck. It's what does most of the defensive stuff. So if we have Invoker out, it's 1. And this also goes very well with the super combo because we can, in battle, when we're tapped out, super combo, untap 1, then use our active battle for 1 with Invoker to kill something 30k or less, ignoring barrier, which is most cards. And then it also, we can easily get whatever we want on top of our deck with our World Arena World Martial Arts, not World, uh, Tournament Arena card, field card. Royal Condemnation. 4 cost, counterplay. If your leader card is a Universe 7 card, if a battle card is being played, that energy cost of 8 or less, so everything that's not a secret rare essentially, it is placed at the bottom of its owner's deck instead of being played. Active main, send this card for your drop to your warp. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's a multicolor extra card, add it to your hand. Otherwise, place it on top of your deck. So as you can see, we have a lot of these active mains in order to use our field and grab all our extra cards. Additional extra cards. There we go. And yeah, this is just a counterplay that gets rid of the card and can pretty much get rid of everything. And we can play it for 1 with Invoker. Catastrophic Blow. 5 cost red blue extra card. Active main if you have a red blue multicolor Son Goku card in play, or there are no battle cards in your battle area, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Active main, send this card to your drop area from your warp. Drop area to your warp. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's a multicolor extra card, you may add it to your hand. Otherwise, place it on top of your deck. So all 3 of these have that same effect to grab the top card of your deck. And then this is where our win con comes in with our deal 1 damage to our opponent. And so all you have to do is drop Goku and then play these with Invoker, and they do 2 damage each. One important thing to note about this card is if you don't have the Goku, you have to have no battle cards. But this could also theoretically be fitted in some other decks as a finisher as well, where all you have to do is get your opponent to 1 life and you just get to kill him for free, assuming you play your cards right. But getting that Goku out is not the easiest thing, so this is something you're probably going to be doing on turn 7 or 8, just because getting that Goku down is relatively difficult. But yeah, that's all the red, blue, and the Invoker support we have right now. We might get a little more, but we probably have most of the things spoiled already. That's why I went ahead with the deck. And it's going to be real interesting. I think the Invoker mechanic is very good. I think that this Vegeta, and especially the Android 17 leader, I think is incredibly strong too. But I'm not super sure about this Goku. I mean, sure, doing direct damage is pretty cool, but it's coming down on turn 6. Yes, you could ramp, so maybe it's coming down on turn 5, but it's not like it's something that's going to be a blowout, and most of the time the game is over by that point anyways, even if you're stalling with like Invoker and Vegeta and stuff like that. It's definitely interesting. We'll have to see if it's not too late. Feels like it might be a too late mechanic, but playing the Android 17 leader with the Invoker stuff and just relying on the power of these Invoker cards might be good enough on their own. Doing things like catastrophic blowing your opponent and just having the ability to do extra damage and things like that just seems very strong. Using things like having just 4 Royal Condemnations and 4 Emperor's Death Beams in your deck, combined with the Frieza, the Vegeta, and then just using old good red and blue cards, things like the Vegeta that gains Triple Strike, which is also Universe 7. A lot of the old Universe 7 stuff is going to go very well in that deck. So yeah, I will have a deck list for you guys probably sometime in the next couple weeks, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about it because I think it's a cool new mechanic, and it's always nice to see like really cool original mechanics coming into the game. Please like, subscribe, go down, see if you can hit up that Patreon. I'm giving away that Secret Rare this month, and I think we only have 2 or 3 entrants, so someone's going to be very, very happy at the end of the month if no one else gets in there. Go out there, play some Super, and have some fun.